Hi you guys, it's Amanda with Healthy House on the Block, and I'm here with another weekly tip on creating an indoor environment and space that really supports your health and wellness. This week I'm going to share with you an update on my plant therapy journey. So a lot of you have found me because I used to do Young Living and I completely switched over to plant therapy. Not only for cost, but I didn't love being part of an MLM. That just wasn't my thing, and I respect anyone who likes to do this, but it just wasn't for me or my family. And I wanted something that was organic. I didn't want to be putting something into the air in my house that I didn't know was tested by a third party. So that was my main reason for moving to plant therapy. I'm going to give you guys a little update on how I have really transitioned to using these oils, how I use them in my house, and if I use them less or more. I'm also going to share with you some of the reasons that I really love plant therapy and trust their brand and their products. So I'm going to take you through some slides that will break down this week's blog post in more of a video format. If you're someone who really likes to see studies and links to products, I would encourage you to go to this week's blog, which I have listed at the bottom of the video description. Otherwise, if you are more of a visual person, let's go.
So I am not a newbie when it comes to essential oils. In fact, oils are really the first way that I started learning about creating a lower toxin home. And if you know my story, then you remember that I originally jumped into Young Living essential oils. Since then, I have learned a lot and changed a lot of my views around essential oils and how I use them. And I've also made a big change to plant therapy essential oils instead of Young Living. And I've been using them for several years. And this video and post is going to talk about what I've learned with them. So I'm a completely open book when it comes to how I've changed many of the things around my home, including the use of essential oils. I think at first I was really kind of embarrassed to share the fact that I changed my opinion, and I kind of wondered if everyone would think I was untrustworthy or a fraud. But when I thought about it, I realized that we are all human, and it would be really strange if we never changed our opinions or moved forward. In fact, some things that I used early on in my adulthood, I steer my families away from and have forbidden in my own home. So wouldn't it kind of be something if I had decided I wasn't able to change my opinions and learn more? I think I would be stuck where I was. I teach my kids to keep an open mind and an open heart to new ideas, and changing my own opinion based on facts and research is really kind of along the same lines. One thing I will share is that I don't actually think that everyone needs to use essential oils. I choose to use them in my own home and with my own lifestyle. And what I love about creating a healthy home is that we can each do it in our own way. There's no 100% definitive way to create a healthy home environment. In fact, I think that a healthy home is completely relative to each of us and our own needs. So here I am ready to share with you some of the changes I've made in my own home with essential oils. And if you've been with me from the beginning, you'll see the natural progression change throughout Healthy House on the Block. So first, let's talk about why I use essential oils at home. Like I mentioned before, I don't think that oils are a must. I think they're a wonderful thing to add as a bonus to my space, but by no means do I think they're necessary to create a healthy home environment. Some families are so sensitive to fragrance and even natural fragrance from essential oils that they really just can't use them in their own home, and I completely understand that. I know that they're not for everyone, but for me, the biggest thing was when I gave up scented candles and air fresheners, I really wanted something to add scents to the air in my home. I love scents and fragrance. There's something that helped me feel grounded and uplifted when I use them in the right way. And the positive feelings are definitely a part of health and wellness for me and my family. So that was the biggest thing. Essential oils are plant-derived and are really just a much better alternative to synthetic fragrances, which are often created with man-made chemicals. And in general, these man-made chemicals can cause irritation as well as long-term health effects like endocrine disruption. Essential oils in our house are used to support our immune system. I have a study linked for you guys. I don't think essential oils are necessarily like a cure, but I do think that they have a positive impact on the body's ability to do the job of fighting viruses and bacteria. Essential oils are from plants, which have all sorts of healing properties, ranging from skin repair to reducing inflammation. And while I do think you still need to be careful with the usage of natural products, I think that it's a much better alternative when it comes to healing our bodies. And essential oils have been found to have antimicrobial properties that I like to use instead of harsh cleaning chemicals in my home. This is another way that we use them all the time. I've found them to be extremely effective in purifying the air and cleaning areas like our bathroom. So each of these things that I use them for have studies and research that I have linked in this week's blog post that you can find on the blog. So what made me go with plant therapy essential oils? So one of the biggest reasons I chose plant therapy is because of their third-party testing, and they are USDA organic. Not all of them, but you can find certain ones that are certified USDA organic. This means their oils are free from pesticides and they're also free from GMOs. Another reason that I fell in love with plant therapy is that they're super transparent. They provide in-depth information right on their website. I love that I don't have to ask or seek out information. Instead, they provide in-depth information on the chemical makeup of each oil, and it's readily available. Even though it's tested by a third party, they make that all available on their website. So these were the first reasons that I decided to go with plant therapy, and I felt that it was a really good fit for my family. But as I used them more, I also found that the pricing was so much more economical than other companies. So in other words, I didn't need to sell oils to afford essential oils. They also have options for different sizes of bottles. So you can order whatever is perfect for your family. There were some oils that we use almost daily and some that I use here and there. So I can get each bottle according to what we use. And I wasn't having to use it up or anything. Plant therapy also has a really good kids line. One of the biggest things that I learned in my journey is that not all essential oils are safe for kids, and they're not safe for kids to be around, and there can be serious health implications that come along with the improper use of oils. I love that plant therapy has taken into account kids' health and has made pre-diluted formulas that are safe for babies and kids. They even have a dilution guide on their website that I've printed out and we use at home. I recommend that all essential oils be diluted in some way. You have to remember that pure essential oils are extremely concentrated and can cause damage to the skin and other areas when used improperly. So let's take a look at some of the essential oils that I use regularly at home and how I use them. So one of my favorites is Germ Fighter. I use this in a roller with frankincense and copaiba diluted with fractionated coconut oil. My kids and I apply this along our spines every day for just an added support to our immune systems. I also diffuse Germ Fighter in the winter and fall. We'll pair it with vanilla or orange, and it's like the scent of the season and supports our health and wellness. The organic tea tree is a great addition to cleaning and disinfecting. I add a few drops of it to like Bon Ami to clean my toilets. It not only like leaves them really, really clean, but it kind of gives a nice clean scent as well. I have found by adding this, the toilets actually stay clean longer. Tea tree oil also gets added to like some Castile soap to disinfect makeup brushes every so often. It's a really good disinfecting oil. The next one that we use a lot is lavender. So it's used all around our house. We diffuse it in the evening sometimes to help people wind down. We also use lavender on dryer balls to give the laundry just a little fresh scent. And in the summer, we add a few drops to an aloe vera spray to treat sunburns and some like skin discomforts that might come up in the summer. So Citrus Burst is another one that I really love. It gets diffused a lot. I also like to put it on like a cotton ball or a cloth and stick it underneath our garbage can in the kitchen. It helps kind of cover up the garbage smell, but it isn't super overpowering. We diffuse it in mornings in the morning to try and kind of get everybody up and going. And then lemon. So lemon is, we buy the big bottles of this. I love the way it smells, but it's so useful. We use a lot of glass jars and reuse them. And so getting the stickers off can be kind of tricky with the adhesive. If you use lemon oil and let it sit on the jar for a minute or two, you can just rub the adhesive off and then wash the jar afterwards. Lemon works really good for a lot of like sticky stains, gunk, anything you need removed, instead of some of the more toxic options that you can get at the store. So now I want to talk to you about safety and usage. So I recommend that all essential oils be diluted with a carrier oil. There was a time when I applied them and consumed them what they call neat, which means without a carrier oil, just plain. And I kind of just blindly followed along with what other people are doing. But after seeing some skin irritation with myself and my daughters, I decided that that route of essential oils is that using it that way is not for us. So I always say mix it with a carrier oil if you're going to use it. I also recommend that you do research on which essential oils are safe to use with kids. Their bodies are not developed like adults, and what small amount we can use can quickly affect their systems. So I always recommend doing research before using any oil, even in a diffuser, around your kids. I linked a really helpful book in this week's blog post that can help with some of that oil safety as well. Another safety point when it comes to essential oils is to know and understand that some oils are what we call photosensitive, and this means that they should not be used in UV light. The UV light reacts with certain oils and can cause a skin reaction, and it's very important to know which oils do this. The other thing you want to be aware of are hot oils. While you're using essential oils, you need to know that some of them have a warming sensation. Cinnamon, clove, lemongrass, oregano, these are the popular ones. Oftentimes it can really hurt the skin, especially on kids. You can develop a rash, but hot oils can still affect the skin even if they're diluted, so you really want to be careful with those. And the last thing is to know if anyone in your home has allergies. So those with allergies should know that there's like a cross sensitivity possible with essential oils because they come from plants, and some plants are in similar families to other plants that may cause allergic reactions. So for example, if you're allergic to ragweed, you might also have an allergic reaction if someone diffuses chamomile. So we really want to be careful of these things when we're going to use essential oils. But as the last little part of this slide, I want to share with you some of my favorite diffuser blends that we use on a regular basis. So this one is Bravery. We blend this one and use it in the morning. Self-esteem is really good for school mornings, I think. Same with Bergamot, which just kind of invokes a happy feeling. Cedarwood kind of leaves us calm. The next one is an immune support blend. Like I told you, Germ Fighter we use all the time, and we pair it with orange and vanilla. And then this is a blend that we use after dinner a lot of times. It's lemongrass, rosemary, and cedarwood. And the last one is just kind of a cozy fall blend for you guys. Black spruce is one of my absolute favorites, and it really has a grounding feeling that pairs with it. So if you want more information, head to my blog post. It is in the link at the end of my video description, and you'll find links to all the oils, as well as the studies and research that I have shared this week.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me and learning more about plant therapy. If you have any questions about plant therapy or any essential oils, please feel free to leave a comment or send me an email, and I'd be glad to answer your questions. Otherwise, I will be back next week with another Healthy House tip on creating an indoor space that really supports your health and wellness.